Hello everyone, this is HESES here, back to some more StarCraft 2 Heart of the Swarm 1v1 action. This time it is going to be between Sase up in the top right side, and his opponent down in the bottom right side is going to be Jaedong. Now, I'm going to be completely honest, I actually went to bed at like 4 a.m. I'm just now waking up only like 4 or 5 hours later, and I was like, I'm so tired, I need to go to bed. And I was looking through some replays I had, and I was like, oh my god. Jaedong, oh my god, Sase, well, I am awake now, but if I sound tired, it's because I am, alright? We are allowed to be a little bit tired every now and then. Tell me right now, are you tired watching this? Are you tired as you watch this? Probably not. I don't really watch YouTube when I'm tired. I normally go to bed, but my adrenaline started pumping. Does adrenaline even pump? I don't know. But my adrenaline started pumping, and I had to cast this game. This is going to be from DreamHack, which just ended not too long ago. I won't tell you who the champion is. I actually don't know off the top of my head. But anyways, Jaedong, for those of you who do not know, was the best for a long time Zerg player back in Brood War. When he was rising to prominence and rising to dominance, and rising to Rominance. I don't know what else rhymes with that. But anyways, when he was rising in StarCraft is when I was actually first getting into competitive StarCraft. Now, I'd always kind of known that competitive StarCraft was a thing. I know that it existed, but I did not know any of the players. I didn't know when the tournaments were. I didn't know the formats and all that. But when I finally got into it, I remember it very clearly. I was in college and just getting into StarCraft for the first time as a sport. Jaedong, man, was just dominating everyone. Flash rose shortly thereafter, but Jaedong has always been my favorite original Brood War player. He's so good. Even though I'm not a Zerg player, just watching him play was so awesome. The thing I love most about Jaedong, I feel like an old man reminiscing, back in my day when I used to watch Lee Jaedong play, you see? Anyways, when I would watch Jaedong, the thing I loved about him, and I haven't been able to see him recreate it in StarCraft 2 as much, but Jaedong loves being aggressive. Now, it's kind of actually weird to say that. By the way, this isn't a Forge Fast Expand. This is a Gateway Cybercore, which is something that Protoss players have been doing more recently. But anyways, the thing I loved about Jaedong is that he was always aggressive. He would do builds where you're like, what is he doing? He's not going to win these engagements. He doesn't have the right units. He's attacking way too early, and he would just destroy. And that's why he was so fun to watch, is because he would be so aggressive when you would think that, no, now's not the time to be aggressive, and he would make it work. Now, I haven't really seen that again here in StarCraft 2 from him, but I would love it if he actually managed to pull that style back, because the thing about Zerg in StarCraft 2 versus Protoss is that you actually want to defend more than you are aggressive, because Zerg has a really hard time in killing Protoss, in killing Terran when they're inside their base. What they excel at in StarCraft 2 is engagements in the middle of the map, and that's not necessarily the case in Brood War as much, whereas Zerg you want to be really aggressive, but in StarCraft 2 it is a bit different, just because Spine Crawlers are so good. Just Swarm Hosts are so good at playing defensively. Zerg is just a really robust race as far as defending now. So times have changed. Now we do have a motion score out for Sase, and like I was saying right now, Jaedong being a little bit aggressive with those Zerglings scouting up there, trying to spot a probe to kill. I think he also wanted to spot, is there an expansion? Well, now he knows that there is. Those Lings able to spot that. Sase does finish off his wall in, and I gotta say the build that Sase is going is kind of a bit of an old school one, where you go for one gateway, then you get your Cybercore, you're going to be going for Warp Gate, then you throw down your expansion, and on the back of that, you throw down 3 Warp Gates somewhere in your base. Now, on this map, which is Whirlwind, it kind of reminds me of Tal'Darim Altar a little bit, but this map is Whirlwind. What Sase is doing here is saying, all right, well, this ramp down here is way too large to wall in, so I'm just going to go ahead and throw down 3 gateways and a pylon, reveal the build I'm going, but I will actually be able to wall it in. So that's definitely something that's interesting, and right now you can see that Jaedong is going to try and be aggressive right now. He's going to try and run up the ramp. Now, Sase should be able to spot this in time. Force field, force field, force field! There it is right there. Going to push those Lings right on back. Notice how he warps in another sentry. Kind of interesting that he warped in the Zealots here at the main base as opposed to warping them in here at the pylon. Is Jaedong actually going to spot the pylon? No, he does not. Sase, you do know that Jaedong is not up in the top left side. Oh, God. Oh, God, he's at... slight misread here by Sase. He definitely is positioning himself in a way that shows that he thinks he's up on the top left side. That's not actually the case. But so he must have saw units run from up there or something, because he would not have his Mothership Core up here at all. If, oh god, this is embarrassing. This is a little bit embarrassing. I will say, though, I meant to say this before, that Sase is one of my favorite Protoss players ever. Well, he's got to realize that, okay, there's actually no expansion up there. My bad. My bad. But you can also see that he had planned to be aggressive right now. Ooh, we could force field these. They're pretty good. Nope, they're going to escape here. I mean, it's really impossible to kill Ling with Sentry Zealot just because the Lings are so fast that force fielding not really an option. But right now, Sase is going to have to reposition himself. This is actually going to throw off his build a lot because he had planned to be aggressive right now. He didn't plan to give his opponent any time to react, although Jaedong not really reacting. I mean, yes, he made more Zerglings, but he didn't make any Spines. He didn't make lots of Lings or anything like that. There's the one Zealot right there, going to try and hold the wall by himself. The Sentries right here. Nice force field, trapping some of those Lings, protecting the gateway as well. At the same time, there's going to be an attack down here, so Jaedong is actually going to lose quite a few Lings here to those force fields. I think the Zealot got taken. Oh my god, he actually broke the entrance somehow. Killing off that pylon. Need to throw down buildings. We can't throw them down while the force fields are there. But either way, there is going to be an attack from Sase right now. Very aggressively postured here. The majority of this is Zealot. There's only one Stalker in here. A flank attack with those Lings. Those are the ones returning from home. So far, the force fields have been decent, but not nearly good enough. And there's the recall to save some of those units. The remainder of the Zealots, so we're not in position right now. And Jaedong actually managing to break this entrance, which is actually pretty intense, all things considered. Another pylon is going to go down if the Pro can push the Zealot out of the way. Now, how did things settle here a little bit? You can see that Jaedong did end up losing a little bit more there than Sase. We do have the War Prism going to be on the way. However, this is where the pylon cleanup crew begins. Does Jaedong know about the pylon over here? Not yet. I don't think he'll scout it just yet with those Lings. But he's basically trying to find pylons to clean up, because that is going to even up this unit's loss. It's going to force Sase to have to put the brakes on the aggression, because he's not going to have enough pylons to warp in reinforcements. You can see that he is actually completely supply blocked right now, and that's because those pylons are getting cleaned up. Oh, nice force field there. Can he continue to trap them? Yes, he can. The Lings trying to escape. Another force field could have trapped all of them. He didn't have enough energy, though. Or if he did, he decided not to use it right there, doing lots of damage to those Lings. But guess what? The aggression from Jaedong. At times, you would not think it would work. Well, Jaedong makes it work. He's going to be attacking the main base. Oh, God. There's the recall once again to the main Nexus, which is actually a beautiful play here and might actually throw down double Stargate. Well, this is going to be scouted, so not sure what the point of that is, though. The probes are going to have to try to retreat, actually trapping them inside the base. Sase is saying, hey, man, 20 Lings enter, 0 Lings leave. That's what he's trying to do right now is, you know, at least make this attack guaranteed damage. But Jaedong's just all over the place with this. He's got more Lings on the way. Actually making this amount of Lings work is very difficult versus Protoss. Oh, God, more running inside as the army's scrambling all over the place. I mean, Jaedong is just slapping poor Sase around this game. And it does look like even hold position Lings right there to try and kill off some of the probes, which if you're wondering why they're on hold position, it's because really the Lings at this point are not going to be able to directly do damage to the army. There's just not enough. But what they can do is on hold position attack the probes that are mining through them. So overall, how many workers were killed in the midst of that? 15 workers killed. 0 have been killed off by Sase. Jaedong, though, is really, really low on drones, given how far into the game we actually are. Oh, my God. He's actually going to do more damage with these Lings. Constant counterattacks here by Sase. He's only able to get out 1 Phoenix. Unfortunately, Phoenix aren't going to do anything. Because right now, I mean, take a look at what Jaedong is actually doing here. He's working on 2-2. And how much gas have you seen spent on this army? Think about this game. How much gas has been spent on this army for Zerg? The answer is basically 0. If we take a look at the spending tab overall, you can see that his overall army spending is quite low, only 4,200 overall. And the rest of it being spent on upgrades, being spent on the tech. He's going to have his hive tech on the way. He's got, of course, the infestation pit there, which he needs to get the hive tech. And all of a sudden, Sase is going to be going up against Ultralisks pretty soon. How do I know it's Ultras? Well, it's a very typical playstyle of Zerg, which is to go for the early upgrades, try and get map control with Lings, and really force the Protoss player to get something that he's not very comfortable with. I mean, 1 Phoenix, I think he probably used that just for scouting. Does look like the Zealot counterattack going to be moving up down here, but keep in mind that he doesn't have any upgrades done. They are about to finish here, but he wants to have those as soon as possible. I think they are done right now. Yep, the 1-1 is done, but that's going to be compared to a 2-2 of Jaedong, and I mean, you don't have to be a genius to realize that 2-2 Lings are going to be doing quite well versus this army in buying time, although Jaedong still only has Lings, so he's going to be trying to throw down Spines to buy just additional time right now, absorb some of that damage. He's also just going to town right now Each of these Zealots just raking the kills. That's all right there. Has 7 kills before he finally falls down. But the force fields from Sase are actually pretty good. The surround here by Jaedong might be a little bit too much. It looks like the Queens right here got to be able to help engage. So I think he should use the Graviton Beam to pick up one of those Queens. He is going to have to back out here, though. Jaedong with the narrow defense here. And the interesting thing is that he hasn't had to throw down a Roachborn or a Hydralistin or anything like that this whole time. It has been 100% pure Zergling. And if you're wondering, well, why are these Zerglings being so efficient at killing off everything that Protoss has? Well, keep in mind that number 1, he has the upgrade advantage. Number 2, he's been able to whittle down Sase's economy. And number 3, he's been able to force Sase away from things like Colossus, away from things like Archons, until about the 15-minute mark. You can see the first Colossus just now going to be out. But the problem is once those Colossus are out, there's already Ultralisks. So this is a matchup where it's very difficult that if once you get behind, it is almost impossible to get ahead based on what the tech switches are that you're doing. And that goes for both races. These Zealots right here did not stand a chance. They're going to get taken out right there. But anyways, the fact of the matter is that Sase, in this matchup, if you are not ahead as Protoss, then it is almost impossible to get ahead. And that's the same thing for Zerg. If you allow the Protoss to always be one tech switch ahead of you, then it's nearly impossible to catch back up. But Sase going to be going for the Colossus. The problem is, though, is that Immortals are just moments away. The Hive tech about to finish. And, you know, getting the Ultras at around the 15, 16-minute mark is very impressive, considering how many Lings Jaedong actually had to make, how many units Jaedong had to use here to keep the Protoss player, number 1, his attack at bay, and number 2, to keep him continually at bay. Keep him at Michael Bay, heyo, with lots of explosions inside the main base with those Lings. That's why they're delayed. You can get Ultras a little bit earlier than this, but Jaedong would have been a fool to go for it that early, I feel like, and he is going to be going for the Adrenal Glands upgrade here. Makes those Zerglings attack 20% faster. We don't actually see that upgrade as much as we used to in Brood War. I mean, really, that upgrade was just a staple in the Zerg army back in Brood War. It's not nearly as effective in StarCraft 2, but I think that's why we're seeing Jaedong get it here. And look at this, even delaying the Colossus here with the Overseer. That's something we almost never see. For those of you who do not know, since we never see that ability, Contaminate basically stops a production building or an upgrade building for the duration of the spell. And you can see that, not the Ultra, but the Colossus right there is not actually building. Now, at this point, Sase's going like, yeah, man, I feel pretty good. I can actually finally engage these Tier 1 units. Well, guess what? There's about to be Tier 3 on the field in these Ultralisks, and I will tell you that Zealot Colossus does not work versus Ultras anymore. They used to be okay because Ultras didn't do additional damage, or didn't do their full damage to regular units, but they will just eat Zealots literally like delicious, delicious ramen. They're just going to eat them up in no time flat. And the Spinecrawler is going to buy just enough time for these Ultralisks to actually spawn, because the Elite Ultras are going to be on the way right now. And I don't think Sase has the juice here. I think as soon as he sees these Ultras, he's going to realize, well, it's been fun. Got to go ahead and tap out of this game. But I gotta say, the non-stop aggression from Jaedong and the ability to just control the map with pure Lings has been phenomenal. He is gonna lose several Queens here, but guess what? Ultralisk from double sides. Quite literally a pincer attack. Unfortunately, Time Warp does not affect Ultralisk. They do not care about your puny Time Warp. And attacking from the north as well to get the ridiculous surround. This is how Zerg is meant to be played. There's going to be the GG coming out of Sase. I mean, that was a little bit predictable at the end, just because this amount of Ultralisks that are basically fully upgraded, they're going to have chitinous plating, they're going to have 3-3 here in just a matter of months. I mean, literally in like 15 seconds, they were going to get 3 additional armor and 1 additional attack, and they're just completely unstoppable. And you know what's also crazy is Jaedong is only on 3 bases right now, so if Sase had managed to secure a 3rd base, had managed to transition into something other than just a couple of Colossus, he actually would have been in pretty good shape. I mean, the creep spread here for Jaedong was okay, but it wasn't the best that I've ever seen, and so that would have given Sase just a couple more seconds to try and tech switch and all that. But I gotta say, the style that Jaedong played here, while it is obviously a StarCraft 2 style, it had little flavors of the Brood War area, which is the non-stop aggression with the Lings, getting the Adrenal Glands upgrade for those Lings as soon as you possibly can, and just being a complete nerd baller. I will say, though, that Sase is one of my favorite non-Korean Protoss players. Number 1, he wears a fedora. Number 2, he does awesome interviews. And number 3, he is just super, super nice and super freaking good. So I'm always cheering for Sase. And we'll just have to wait and see exactly how well he does in the near future. But anyways, I also want to cheer for Jaedong, because players like Flash have really shown some dominant play in StarCraft 2. I think that the way Terran plays out in StarCraft 2 is very compatible with the play style of what we used to see in Brood War from Flash. I still think though that Jaedong is getting used to StarCraft 2, and also, I mean, when StarCraft 2 came out, Jaedong was not as prominent as Flash was at the time. So Jaedong, always rooting for you, buddy. Hopefully he's able to make a comeback. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.